but Todd is going with Cord, 3 of them this weekend.
And a main deck Arbor Colossus, which could come up because this deck is soft to flyers as a rule. And so Mantis Rider is the most dangerous card in Jeskai aggro if you're sitting on Todd's side of the table.
Round number 7 underway for you guys. If you are just joining us, again, it is Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan, the StarCityGames.com Open Series here in Columbus, Ohio, the best state in the entire world, or the union, as you put it earlier today. At SCG Live, hashtag SCGCOL for your tweets all weekend long. It is nice that we just get to go to the best 2 states for the next weekends.
It is a nice back-to-back.
It's almost like they planned it that way. Just next time, we just go 2 hours north of Cleveland, and we're happy. It's a windswept teeth to get things underway. Shiv and Reef here for Herron. Both these players sitting at 5-1 right now, so a loss will likely eliminate them from top 8 contention, as Anderson does have a copy of Sylvan Caryatid on the second turn of the game.
And Josh put Seeker of the Way in the hand, and this is a card that I think over time is going to be marginalized in these Jeskai aggro decks.
Hey, not a big fan of that card in this deck.
The deck is so good. You know, part of the strength of this deck comes from ignoring creatures because you're not really, you're not looking to really burn people out. Well, this might be bad for Seeker of the Way.
Might be tough. I think he may have fetched up the wrong land.
Well, if it's any consolation, I doubt Seeker of the Way would have done very much at this game anyway. But I would rather have it in play than not.
Well, this could be the mega bluff here to cast a Nullify.
That is a mega bluff.
That's the thing that could happen. And here's a Flood Strand. It's not the mega bluff.
No, it is not.
Nylea's in play now. I think this time we're going to get a Plains.
I like getting a Plains here, get the 3rd color mana in play.
Plains strategy is.
Deploy white cards.
Yep.
And it turns out Seeker of the Way would have at least hit for 2.
Maybe Todd's plays different in Seeker of the Ways than play
Maybe,
last turn.
yes.
How about
correct.
That? There is Seeker of the Way. Off curve.
It's okay.
Looks like a Courser was the draw this turn. And we'll deploy the Courser. Take a look. Elvish Mystic. Now there's a Temple, so gain a life. Mystic, bottom. Flip it. Pelucranos, pretty nice. Almost there for Devotion with Nylea as well. So to Herron we go. Here's an attack, we think.
Maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen,
No blocks.
Yep. I mean, there's an option to get the Courser involved in combat there, but I think Todd can afford to take 2 here.
Pelucranos the draw, Court of Calling on top of the deck. No longer surprised. Courser going to come in. Gain a life here with that forest, and Anderson did just play.
Make those currently +1.
So I can turn on the Devotion here if everything goes correct. There's a Farika. Hello. Now Pelucranos, this is a good turn. And now here's an attack. Nylea is angry. Checking for Farika here. You've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's on 2. Well, that was easy.
Very rare to see the God tag team.
Yeah.
Both online.
Here's an island. Boy, that was a good turn.
And Josh's draw has been cumbersome, to say the least.
And not doing all that much. Don't think it would have mattered if he cast Seeker of the Way on turn 2 or turn 3 this game. He's getting run out of the gym.
Yup. This is a lot to face down. It appears he has Banishing Light in hand, which does some work. But I don't believe he can cobble together 2 spells that matter in a turn, which is how he needs to catch up here.
It's a Banishing Light here, as you did mention. That's going to target Pelucranos. So the big 5/5 is gone for now. Now here's an attack with the Seeker. Prowess, of course, triggered.
I like Todd with the quick Devotion price check, see if he might be able to make a block.
Yeah. Quarter Calling will be the draw for the turn. Top card is a Genesis Hydra. There's a Llanowar Waste, Trigger Courser. Nykthos is going to generate 2, 3, 4, 5 mana right now. See exactly what Todd wants to do on this turn. Hey, he's just got the cord. I guess the question is, how much does he want a cord for?
I mean, one of the more obvious plays is just cording for Reclamation Stage, but he might get a little fancier than that.
Well, he's cording now.
Guess Doomwing Giant is an option too.
Oh, just the big guy.
Okay. It's a single copy in Todd's list here.
Yeah, it doesn't want to play anymore.
Nope,
Yeah.
we're good.
It's turning on Devotion for both creatures, too.
Yeah, sure.
And that thing's going to have Trample as well due to Nylea. It's just too much to overcome at that point. So Josh Herron's going to concede the game. Todd Anderson does win game number 1. Green-Black Devotion up a game here over Jeskai Aggro. We'll take a look at the Jeskai Aggro sideboard. You'll find 3 copies of Anger of the Gods, 3 Disdainful Stroke, 2 Ash Cloud Phoenix, 2 Glare of Heresy, then some one-ofs. Narset, Suspension Field, and Erase, and Negate, and End Hostilities. Love End Hostilities in this matchup. I like Anger of the Gods. I don't love it because it kills the early plays, but doesn't kill everything.
And I think that Josh wants to get away with... Josh wants to get away from some of his early plays anyway, because something like Seeker of the Way is not going to be very good. Even Goblin Rabble Master often just kind of gets clogged up. So I think that Josh can get away from some of those kind of creatures, bringing in cards like in Hostilities, the Anger of the Gods you alluded to, maybe even Disdainful Strokes to try to catch some of the big stuff like Arbor Colossus, Polukranos, Quarter Calling, etc.
What do we see on the other side?
A Reclamation Sage, 1 copy of Hydra Broodmaster, 2 Hornet Nest, 4 copies of Nylea's Disciple, 3 Nissa Worldwaker, a Doomwing Giant, Phyrexian Revoker, and 2 Brave Maggots. I think the 4 copies of Nylea's Disciple are obvious to bring in here against an aggressive burn strategy. I think the Nissas are okay, but I don't think Todd's going to really do heavy sideboarding here.
I don't think he needs to.
No, I don't think so either.
We'll take a look at the rest of our 2014 Open Series schedule here. We don't have a lot of dates left, I suppose. I mean, we got a healthy amount of stuff to do.
We do. So we're in Columbus this weekend, of course. Next weekend, we go to New Jersey for the Legacy Grand Prix. Then we have Richmond and Atlanta to close out November, and then a trip over to the West Coast to start off December, Portland, the Invitational in Seattle, and then finally the Players' Championship, Roanoke, Virginia, December 20th and 21st.
Hope you guys can join us for any of those shows if you're in the area. If not, come hang out with us here, twitch.tv/SCG Live. We'll have some announcements to make at some of those tournaments as well. A little spoiler alert there, so you might want to keep your eyes out for that.
We have announcements at all of our tournaments.
Well, this is true, but we have some, okay, excuse me. We have some major announcements to make at some of those tournaments, so keep your eyes open. No spoilers yet, but maybe season 2 for the Open Series will be a lot of fun.
Maybe.
Maybe it will be, maybe it won't be. Who knows?
Maybe it exists, maybe it doesn't.
Maybe I finally got what I wanted, maybe I didn't.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyone's guess.
Could be anyone. Could be anything.
Josh Herron going to be on the play here for game number 2. Jeskai Aggro maybe trending a little downward, perhaps?
We have seen less of it. It's definitely not as dominant as it was, but that's also a small sample size. We had 3 opens in a row, I believe, won by it. Last week, it wasn't Jeskai Aggro, but still a Jeskai-based deck. And I think we're still going to see the copies in the top 8, even though not that many left undefeated after a round, or going into round 6, rather. Only 2 copies. Might be a breakout tournament for Mardu, though.
Feels like it's a long time coming is a weird way to put it, but every time I see the deck on camera, I'm like, this deck's very good.
There's a lot of power.
Yeah.
And there's some unique elements, too. You have Lightning Strike, so you match up well against Mantis Rider. You have Crackling Doom, so you have an element not afforded to other decks. And Butcher the Horde is an excellent threat.
Yeah. You have Crackling Doom, so you match up well against creatures, which is always nice.
Big creatures especially.
Yeah. I love that card. If I was playing Standard, I would be playing some sort of deck with that card in it. Here's a Voyaging Satyr from Anderson. Herron with a couple of Temples to start off. There's a 3rd land. Let's see what 3-mana spell is going to be. It's going to be Mantis Rider. It's time to get the beatdowns in the air.
That is the card against Green Devotion strategies.
Yep. Anderson has at least 1 copy of Quarter Calling. It looks like he may have 2. You see he's trying to accelerate there with the Voyaging Satyr. Don't know what his turn looks like here. I believe he does have a copy of Eidolon of Blossoms as well. So green strategies are something that Anderson is very familiar with. Has played these in very high-level tournaments, World Championships before, as he will play a land here. Of course, revealing a Courser.
And Todd just trying to weather the storm, set up one of these cores to get something big like Arbor Colossus or Hornet Queen.
That's the big plan. Another Mantis Rider. Here's the beatdowns in the air. This is something you don't want to be on the other side of if you are playing some sort of green devotion strategy. Anderson going to quickly untap here. His draw step will be a Courser. Take a look at the top cards. Copy of Sylvan Caryatid. His hand looks rather clunky at this point.
Yeah, that's a generous way of describing it.
I try to be nice.
Bunch of chords, a Courser, a land, and an Eidolon, it looks like.
It's no Lightning Angel. Might be better, though.
Oh, it's definitely better than Lightning Angel.
Yeah?
A mana and a toughness, generally speaking. I would remove a mana for most cards to get one less toughness.
Fair enough. I guess, of course, we're a
2-3
for
for
2. Yeah, that's a solid argument.
Yeah.
Solid argument there. Herron will draw. There is a Mystic Monastery in for 6. It's pretty simple from here. Might be able to just burn him out now. Has Jeskai Charm, Suspension Field too. Court of Calling. Looks like it's going to be for 1. Go get himself an Elvish Mystic.
Well, Todd needs to do this just to set up his other chord.
Yeah, and also he doesn't want to draw that Sylvan Caryatid. No thanks. So we'll see what the top card is from Courser here in just a moment. With Anderson is at 8. Top card is a copy of Pelucranos. That's not a much help. What's this one? Windswept Heath.
All right, there we go. Mana and some life.
Yeah?
It'd be quite impressive for Todd to be able to stabilize against the draw he's facing right now.
Yeah, especially when this deck has the ability just to burn you out from here. Like,
Yeah.
he's at 8. The opponent has 4 cards. And if I was Todd, I would just assume I was dead already. He's going to come in 2 triggers. He's up to 10. Take a look at the top card. It's a Forest. But this shows the power of Courser. He can keep you alive. He can go down to 9 and sacrifice the fetch land up to 11. He's got the ability to play here. Has to turn back. Herron will draw a card. Didn't fire off a Jeskai Charm.
I think he wants to save that in case Todd chords. He can just put the creature back on top of the deck.
Anderson's top card was a Forest. And so now he's going to cast Court of Calling. See him kind of shortcutting a little bit here, hoping this chord will resolve. It's going to be for 5, so this is to search up Big Papa Arbor Colossus. Top card is Sylvan Caryatid right now. So,
And this is problematic for Todd here because I think that he wanted to do this to play around counter spells as much as possible. But because Josh has Suspension Field in hand, I think Todd doing this in a spot where Josh now gets to play the Suspension Field in his main phase will kill him.
yeah, it's kind of weird, right? What card do you want to play around there in that instance? Do you want to play around a counter spell, or do you want to play around a Sorcerer Speed removal spell?
Yeah. No, I'm not saying Todd's play is incorrect. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
did not break the right way for him.
I think it's a tough situation to try to figure out which one you want to play around. Land's going to come into play, going to go up to 7. There's a Forest. Just flying is just such a beating against this deck. It's unbelievable.
Though not Todd with the other chord in hand. Can chord up a Hornet Queen. That's all sorts of blockers. And then if he doesn't get burned out,
I think Stormwrath Dragon was the draw.
Todd might be able to work his way back into this game.
He'll have. Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
This is a.
Oh boy. That's for 7.
They never play around the third chord.
Tosses. I'm going to get Hornet Queen and block all of your creatures. And now we got to try to close this baby out quick.
Well, Todd has 2 courses in play.
Yeah, that's true.
He's going to be crawling back in.
He has a land in his hand.
Yep. And Josh is left with a couple copies of Seek of the Way and Jeskai Charm in hand. So I think Todd has definitely turned this all the way around.
Top card's a Courser number 3. Normally a bad draw might be okay.
I think any threat that can gain some life, I'm sure Todd will take.
Draw the Courser. Top card, Sylvan Caryatid. Yeah, I think you gotta play the Courser and just get some more life if you can.
This says a lot about the power of Court of Calling. I mean, Todd's hand was so clunky to start this game off. Facing down turn 3, turn 4 Mantis Rider, the death knell for green devotion for the most part.
I think it's also the initial use of chord, right? The chord for 1
Yeah.
to get the ball rolling was really important. This is a card that I feel is really underplayed in the format. It's just so powerful.
And there's so many good green creatures that, yeah, I don't want 3 of these, but having the power to go get one of them at some point in the game is awesome.
Anderson goes up to 9. His hand is pretty loaded. Looks like he's just going to pass the turn back.
Well, I think Todd's probably saying I can only lose to end hostilities. Josh has been sitting on a lot of cards in his hand. Maybe that's what's going on.
Okay. There's a Seeker. Well, all you can do is make your read and trust it. There's another Seeker.
Todd's not losing this game to kind of, like random stuff on the ground, It's only if he gets swept up.
Top card, Voyaging Satyr. I believe Herron only has 1 card left in his hand. I believe it was a copy of Jeskai Charm at this point.
Yep.
So, Anderson's going to go reaching. Tapping some mana here. There's a Pelucranos there. It's time to get in the red zone.
And this is really nice from Todd here because he's placing down 1 card in hand. So if Josh makes a move and plays a spell, in response he can use Pelucranos to fight one of the Seekers before the Prowess trigger resolves.
Block. Jeskai Charm. I believe that'll be for +1/+1. In reality, that's actually +2/+2.
But Pelucranos can still fight in response.
Yep. That's why you saw him play pre-combat, so there is the fight. Anderson will win it. Now, Herron will gain a little bit of life, and Anderson will lose a Courser, but Anderson has turned this game around in a big way. That Hornet Queen from the 3rd chord was huge. Game-winning, one could say, as Herron will draw a card. It's not end hostilities. That's going to do it. Todd Anderson's going to win this match over Josh Herron. 2-0. Green-Black Devotion able to overcome the double Mantis Rider draw. Very impressive stuff there from Anderson.
And not by using removal spells. Normally when it's able to beat Mantis Rider, it's because it went into the sideboard and got copies of things like Bile Blight or Murderous Cut or Hero's Downfall. But Todd was just able to overpower it with green creatures and the ability to get exactly what he needed at a moment's notice.
Green-Black Devotion moving on to 6-1. Anderson lost early. It was either round 2 or round 3 for him. We actually caught the back end of it, lost to Blue-White Heroic. And actually, talking to him about it, we said it kind of during the match, he lost that match due to mistakes.